Welcome to Anyone Can Travel. We are on day 2 of our Lavender Field road trip near Valensole. If you didn't watch our previous video, I'm kind of basing our itinerary off a blog post by Leilong Weekend, which I'll link in the description. We are starting off our morning visiting 4 different lavender fields. I will include the GPS location in the description as well for all the fields we stop at. If we see something pretty that's not on the itinerary, we'll definitely stop, but that's kind of our general outline. Just since the way the lavender looks, the colors, the fields, they can change just throughout the season and just from year to year. So having a good outline is nice, but of course stopping when you see something that looks beautiful. We stayed the night in Valensole last night. Since we started our itinerary from Nice, we rented a car. You really have to have a car to do this. Public transportation is very limited out here. We do see some people biking if you wanted to bike, but it can be hot, so cars are convenient. But we stayed the night in Valensole. Yesterday we saw some fields to the west and south of Valensole, and now we are headed east towards Moustiers-Sainte-Marie. It's been pretty empty, just us really that's gotten out of our car. A few cars have stopped on the corner and taken pictures. But if you'd like to take like family pictures or group pictures or just pictures with no one in the pictures, this is a great stop. But we are going to head on to our next fields now because we have a lot to see today. We ended up visiting only 3 lavender fields just because the fields that we were planning on visiting were not there. The first field, like I mentioned, was beautiful, pretty empty, had a nice slope, so great for portraits and family pictures and just pictures without anyone in it. Then we were going to try to visit a field with a little stone shed in it, and they did not have lavender there this year. So instead we stopped nearby, and it was pretty cool because they had 3, like they had a dark purple lavender, a lighter purple lavender, and then like this pink flowering sage. That's something really cool that we saw today we didn't see yesterday, is all these fields of the sage. It's honestly just as pretty as the lavender, so it's a really cool thing to see over here as well. And then the third field, we did find a lavender field with the stone shack in it, and it's beautiful. I loved it. I think it's really cool to have like that, something in your pictures besides just the lavender. So that was a really fun stop. We got started this morning about a little bit after 10, and at first couple fields it was cloudy and breezy and really nice, and it started to get hot. So it was nice that today we were able to start from Valensole and not from Nice, since we were able to get some of the hottest parts of activities out of the way. And yesterday I wore pants, today I wore shorts, and there are a lot of bees, so I was nervous they were going to sting me when I was walking through the fields, but they didn't. If that's something you're nervous about, pants are a great option. Something flowy because it gets very hot. We are now going to visit the town of Moustiers-Sainte-Marie. It is, they call themselves one of the prettiest towns in France, and we've been here before. It's really beautiful. Last time we were here, we hiked up to the church on the hill. Very beautiful. Today we're going to focus more on exploring the town. Moustiers-Sainte-Marie is a beautiful village. We spent about 3 hours wandering around the streets, looking in souvenir shops. We had some lunch. A lot of the nicer sit-down restaurants kind of along the river and the waterfall are going to be 15 to 20 euros a person just for food, not counting drinks. So we just got sandwiches and crepes to enjoy while sitting in the shade, and then we got some ice cream as well. We actually ate at the same ice cream place last time we were here, and it was really good. And I noticed as people were walking around that place seemed to have the biggest ice cream, so I think it's the best bang for your buck. It's super good. I got lavender and honey, Nephi got mango and lychee, and lychee was really good too. There is a lot of parking. You can park kind of closer to the bottom of the city, or you can drive up and park at the top. Like there's a lot of parking, so don't worry, just follow the signs that say parking or have a blue P. It was 4 euros for 3 hours, so really affordable. I definitely recommend hiking to the church at the top of the hill if it's your first time. We've already done it, and it's pretty hot today, so we decided to just explore the town, but it's worth the view for sure if you've never done it. We are going to now continue on, drive past more lavender fields, and head to the Lake Sainte Croix. After Moustiers-Sainte-Marie, we drove up onto the plateau, drove by tons of lavender fields, poppy fields, some sage fields. It's very pretty. And then we drove along the Lake Sainte Croix and stopped at a couple of viewpoints. It's really beautiful, a really beautiful blue, and then close to the shore, it's a little turquoise-ish. If you haven't been to Verdon Gorge, you have to go to Verdon Gorge. We went there our first time we visited this area in October. Absolutely loved it. One of my favorite places in this area. Our Airbnb host and friend, Tarek, this morning we were telling him our plan, and he said, that sounds like a great day. The only thing that I would add is this Basses Gorges du Verdon, which I was like, what? It looks just like the Verdon Gorge. Like, the Verdon Gorge is a lot taller. It's actually the tallest canyon in France. This is like a mini version of it, and it's super pretty. You can also rent paddle boards or kayaks or even electric boats. I don't know how much they cost because we didn't go over to that area to rent. We did a really short hike. There's a really cool path that just walks along the river through the gorge. We did a really short part of it. It's quite long. You can walk farther. We just wanted to get a little taste of it. It's beautiful. I hopped in for a swim. The water is freezing. I did not get my head wet because I was worried I'd be too cold, but it's super refreshing and I would highly recommend it. This is just a super fun, I feel like lesser known spot. Verdon Gorge can get super crowded and it's been pretty empty over here, so definitely worth checking out. We have one more stop today to see a waterfall. And our last stop of the day was the Sillans Cascade, or Sillans waterfall. We had a little bit of a hard time finding the parking because there's a lot of parking here. I have included the lot that is the closest that we parked in our Google Maps list in the description, so you can find that. It was about a 20-minute drive from Moustiers-Sainte-Marie to some of the lookouts for the Lake Sainte Croix, and then another 20 minutes to the Basses Gorges du Verdon, and then another 20 minutes to the waterfall here. So it was nice that we kind of were breaking up the drive back to Nice and didn't have to do it all in like a 2.5 hour run. The walk to the waterfall is a half a mile. there and then half a mile back. It took us about 15 minutes each way. There's dirt, there's kind of like a paved gravelly section, and there are some stairs. Right now the water is it's running pretty strongly, I think because it rained for like a month before we got here, and it is looking a little green, blue, brown, not like a bright turquoise, which is what I'd seen on like Instagram and social media, so I was expecting it to be a little brighter. I think maybe because of all the rain though, it's not as turquoise as usual. You're definitely not allowed to swim. There's a lot of signs and a lot of like fences that prevent you from going anywhere besides the overlook. It's a beautiful spot. I would recommend it if you're in the area. I like the Basses Gorges du Verdon better, but also a beautiful stop breaking up your drive back to Nice. This sadly ends our day and our trip as we're dropping the car off in Nice. We have an hour and a half drive back now. We'll drop the car off, stay the night, and head out in the morning. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful trip. The lavender is beautiful. Since we're here in the beginning of June, if you're watching this and coming in a couple weeks, it's going to be even better than it is now, as it'll just be more vibrant and full. But anytime you can come to see the lavender, whatever fits in your schedule, I think is worth it. So thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.